All right. Easily, I think, without question, the best division in football. NFC West. I want to go last on this one because I got takes for this. Imp, start us off. How do you feel about the NFC West?
I was going to say, Alan, you go first.
Okay, Alan.
Every team has high expectations. Every team has a very fascinating offense. Stars all over. I'm just between the Rams, with just their offense now totally opening up with Stafford. Seattle now bringing Shane Waldron in. Does that mean Russ is going to cook even more? That means less ground and pound Pete Carroll style and just opening up the playbook for Russ. 17 games. Like last year, they actually opened up in the first half, but then second half went completely off the rails. So that you have to look at. Obviously, San Fran, them upgrading with the quarterback, and then Arizona. This kind of has to be the year where things come together because it's like it's been budding now. You invest a lot in older veterans. Is it going to come? So like all four teams have huge expectations, which makes this game like every divisional game is going to be must watch because you know it's going to be intense. And not to mention, I feel like the Seahawks, whether it's a nationally televised game or it's just a game against division, it's going to go down to the wire. Like Seattle to me is the most entertaining team in the league by far. Like you're just going to get good entertainment. So yeah, this division has it all. There's nothing dull about it, and who isn't excited?
The Rams roster from top to bottom it's hard to like poke a hole in it, right? Mm-hmm. I'll say this: the depth scares me. They're like an injury or two away from because of how good the division is. And every team, of course, you can say is an injury or two away of maybe being
but them I feel you. The only position unit I would push back on is they got some depth at wide receiver.
Because they drafted a couple kids, right?
Yeah, and like they bring in Deshaun Jackson, Van Jefferson from last year. You got Woods, you got Kupp.
You still hit the tight ends a lot.
Yeah, Higbee is still there. I expect him to have a monster year. But I agree with you. They've mortgaged the future to win either now or next year, one or the others, because the way the contracts are all set up.
I feel like they do that every year.
Yeah. A lot of big contracts. Outside of wide receiver, they're lacking depth. They lost both their coordinators. Kind of sketchy, no, Alan? You lose both?
That's just how it is when your team's good. I mean, that's the McVay coaching tree.
Not only did they lost on defense, they lost two defensive coordinators. They lost Joe Barry and they lost Brandon Staley.
I'm personally very high on Raheem Morris, so I don't think that's going to be a colossal loss. Look, the Rams are going to have the number one defense. I don't think any defense ever repeats being number one, but you have a defense with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, you're going to be up there.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast, and they had Sean McVay on there, and he was saying how he's finally going to have a quarterback that he's going to give the green light to Audible because he didn't entirely trust Jared Goff to make those kind of play calls, and he's foaming at the mouth to have Stafford. Stafford has never won a playoff game, but he's way more talented than Fitzpatrick. Hear me out. But I think that same concept of I think every scenario is different and you can't hold those last 10 years in Detroit against them. He's going to have the green light for audibles, and he's on the most stacked team top to bottom with the best play caller that he's ever been with. I am ultra high on the Rams from the moment they got him.
That was so disrespectful to Stafford, what you just did.
What'd I do?
I know you didn't compare him to Fitzpatrick.
I'm talking about the scenarios of him never winning a playoff game.
But let me put a bow on this Fitzpatrick thing and use Stafford as an example. If Stafford was a free agent the way that Fitzpatrick was every season, he would have won a playoff game already. That's the difference, and that was the point I was trying to make the whole time. A better organization, a better team that was ready to win now would have invested in him, even if it was in a one-season scenario.
And also, game recognizes game. Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee's show, and they were talking about the no-look pass thing.
Yeah.
He's like, Matty's been doing that in Detroit for years, since Georgia, but no one watches Detroit. They're not on primetime games outside of Thanksgiving, and even that's the matinee at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's a baller, man, and he's well-respected amongst all his peers.
And some of his stats are skewed because of him having to play from behind. How many times do they go down 14-0 or
that? And they didn't have a 100-yard rusher to Kerryon Johnson. It was between Reggie Bush and Kerryon Johnson was the last.
It was good 5 years.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The team was a nightmare in Detroit. But I really like this Rams team. They have an All-Pro on the defensive line, Aaron Donald. They got an All-Pro in the secondary and Jalen Ramsey. And Stafford just going there. It's the going from a pretender to contender thing, too. Not even a pretender. Like, you just knew no matter what, if all things go your way, one-score games go your way, you're going to win 6 games in Detroit. And now you're on a team who they were not the division winner last year. So they're playing a second-place schedule also. So I got the Rams at 12-5 winning this division.
Same.
The Rams will probably win the division, but I think I'm higher on the Niners than other people are.
Ooh, okay. Tell us about the Niners, because I have them at 11-6. They're one of my wild card teams.
Yeah, they're probably going to get in 6-10 last year.
But they had they had the hell season, right? Every team has that season where, like, by October they've lost like 9 starters.
Yeah,
it's just been a nightmare, and that's exactly what happened to San Francisco.
So now you get, a third place schedule, right, with a team that has a lot of talent.
Actually, I think last place. Didn't they come in last?
Yeah,
they came in last because Arizona went 8-8.
Yeah.
I had a parlay. 5-team parlay to make the playoffs. Arizona blew it for me.
Look, 6 tough divisional games, but fourth place schedule. You're correct, and they're playing the NFC North and the AFC South.
Another reason why I know this is I've been talking up the Jaguars about being my favorite worst of first candidate, and everyone's like, yo, San Fran, bro, San Fran. I'm like, look, yes, technically you're right. I don't consider them a fourth place team because they just had that season that was a nightmare. Like, remember when the Cowboys got Zeke and Dak, they got it because Romo got hurt that year. That team was the 2014 season. The Cowboys had the Dez play. Like, they went to the NFC title game.
Divisional game.
Excuse me, yeah. So it's like, yo, that team was stacked, bro. It's just so happened that you lost your quarterback, and then you get the 4th pick. You get Zeke the whole 9.
Yeah.
I feel very similar to this with San Francisco.
And you just praised the McVay. You just praised McVay, and I agree. He's a great mind. But I think the best play caller and the best scheme guy is Kyle Shanahan.
It's 1A, 1B.
Right?
Yeah.
And now you finally equip him with a quarterback that can move with his play calling and his creativity on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we recorded that podcast here talking about who's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I went home and I was just like, yo, I think I'm going to go bet on Trey Lance. The offense is extremely vanilla right now in the preseason because they don't want to show you what they can do in the regular season. They're not showing you any of their splash plays. They're not showing you any of their super creativity right now. They're keeping that under wraps. I think when you pair Kyle Shanahan with an offensive quarterback like Trey Lance, you bring in Alex Mack, a great center, which was one of the issues last year. Yeah. You still have a stud left tackle. It's going to be a great offensive line. I mean, it's hard.
Checks all boxes.
Yeah.
And that defense obviously be a lot better.
They'll be healthy.
Yeah. D Ford is looking good. Bosa's back. Fred Warner got a new contract. I think the secondary is a bit of a concern. There's still some uncertainty there, but
they bring in Tony Jefferson. I don't know if that's a big deal, but and your boy Sanu.
Well,
to replace Kendrick Bourne.
They got plenty of weapons there. I don't know how many reps he's going to get, but San Fran, they're kind of loaded. I think it's just a matter of how will the question marks is how they're going to handle the QB situation. How is the secondary going to hold up in a division filled with receiver talent? But besides that, you got to like what you see. It's just a matter of, are they going to stay healthy?
You're still going to see Trey. Even if Garoppolo's the starting quarterback, you will see Trey Lance packages until he becomes a starter.
Garoppolo's one over there. I feel like it's not fair to him.
Yeah, but so Goff has one too.
Yeah. You're
That's
right.
the arc. The Garoppolo is Goff.
You look at that playoff run. Think about those games: Minnesota, Green Bay.
Bro, he threw the ball like 50 yards.
Like 50 times, probably the whole playoff run.
No, I mean like 50 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Everything was a dump off, a hitch, a screen, a swing.
Yeah, and look, they were pounding the ball down team's throat. It's fine. It's just he wasn't asked to do anything. Then when it came to Super Bowl, when they need that 2-minute drill, Shanahan got surprisingly all conservative, and it seemed like, okay, he does not trust Garoppolo.
And now you give him a quarterback that can run, who has a hose.
Yo, you know who their defensive coordinator is?
DeMeco Ryans,
bro. Yeah. I was hyped when I was looking at that shit.
That's fire.
Texans
sick
great.
linebacker.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Kyle Shanahan wants to work with people that used to be. Now, obviously, D'Amico Ryan's a linebacker, but he was in Houston while Shannon was there too, so it's a bit of connection there.
So and this is tough. I'm probably gonna flip flop, but Rams, Niners. I think the Niners make the playoffs. We haven't touched on one team, the Cardinals, right?
The Cardinals, yeah. I mean,
touched
look,
on Seattle. Like,
Yeah,
what-
we're
No,
how-
I was
Seattle.
gonna say it's Seattle third, and then
Yeah.
this last place team right here.
well, look, the thing with Seattle is Russ has been the reason why I push back a little bit on the one-score game thing. Because if you have an elite quarterback like Russ, that shit don't matter. Because 2 years ago they were 10-2 in one-score games, and then last year they continued to just be a beast in one-score games too. Like in one-score games last year, the Seahawks were. Hold on, I have it right here. They were 8-3 in one-score games, and in 2019 they were 10-2. So it's like there's no regression there because you just have that quarterback. And what Alan was saying was true. Like, yo, how many? I'm pretty sure I've tweeted this mad times, but like, yo, let's put Seattle on primetime every week because the games are just captivating and they come down to the wire. Like even Cam, the Pats Seahawks game, that shit was one of Cam's best performances. Like I know he didn't air it out that much, but like total package, that was one of his best games, and it came down to like a fourth down
goal line
stop
play
at the goal line. Look, they're a team that as long as they have Russ, you got to take them seriously, and they have the weapons on offense. They add Gabe Jackson from the Raiders for the offensive line. They bring in Gerald Everett too. I think Russ loves tight ends, and last year tight end was, shouts to Greg Olson, but it was holding them back a little bit at the tight end position. I just think their defense still has a lot of holes.
Yeah, which has always been the problem.
and their best player in the secondary can't guard anybody.
Yeah, Jamal.
Shots to this. I mean, look, he's very talented, but it's a little. It doesn't make sense to me when you want your. It's awesome when your safety can have double-digit sacks. That's awesome, but it's also a passing league now. And
Yeah.
so like, I don't know. I don't know if I would have given him all that money. Granted, you traded for him and you gave up everything that you did to get him.
That's probably why they did though.
Yeah, I mean, they traded for him under the assumption that they had to sign him. The funny thing is he was trying to get signed as a linebacker because of all the sacks. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Yeah.
To make more money
Well,
too, right?
He does play in the box a lot, but you look at games, like he was lying in nickel sometimes, deep safety. Like he plays 4 different positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Arizona. They bring in J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, Malcolm Butler, James Conner, Rodney Hudson. I would feel better if someone else was their head coach. Kingsbury, very Anthony Lynn of him. He
Finds way to lose.
Just does shit that's kind of weird, man. Kind of weird. And Rondell Moore, I think, is going to be a problem. That dude is going to be a starting wide receiver on this team very, very soon, if not already, opposite of D-Hop. And then you move Kirk in the slot where he truly belongs. Last year, they were 4-5 in one-score games. They went 8-8. They're favored in 9 of the 16 games this year. I think Kyler Murray is going to take the next step. He just needs to stay healthy. And I'm worried, Alan, the extra game, because he couldn't get past 10 games healthy. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's an issue for him?
I think they're going to have to dial back on running options so much with him. I just feel like they were becoming a little too reliant on him as a ball carrier. And a guy of his stature, and he takes a lot of risks, Murray, as a ball carrier.
He's so good, though, at getting down.
He takes chances, though, and like I don't know, he takes more punishment than I would want to see for a quarterback. Yeah. Like Lamar really knows how to protect his body. Kyler, I think, could do a better job, but
still learning, I think.
Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, he's gonna learn. I just don't think they have a lot of depth defensively. Still, I don't know. It just seems like older. Like I'm intrigued to see Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. Like that's must watch. I'm excited about that. But I don't know. Secondary outside Buda Baker, not a lot there. Linebackers aren't all. It's just a team that they have clear star power. It's just a matter of like an all around group, and I don't really know how they're gonna handle the running game situation.
Well, I like that they brought over Hudson for I think like a 4th round pick or something like that.
Yeah, they needed that.
That's a low risk, high reward move.
Yeah, protect your quarterback, bro.
I just think if they were in a better division, I would be more excited about them. It's just this division's just too highly contested. And it's just better teams. Like you really can't convince me Arizona's better than the other 3 teams.
Yeah, you can't. I'm with you.
Yeah.
AJ Green, does that move the needle? James Conner, does that move the needle?
Not at all.
Nah,
finally Edmonds is gonna get some serious run this year.
Fordham's finest.
I was a big Chase Edmonds guy.
Yeah. Okay, how do you got this division playing out?
Cardinals last, Niners second, Rams first, Seahawks third.
You gave us that order in the most
I don't know
backwards.
what you're doing.
You
You
had
had 4, second, third, first, or one or the other. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals.
how many playoff teams?
3.
3 playoff teams.
Yeah, Seahawks and 49ers. So my wildcard teams are 49ers, Seahawks, and Cowboys in that order.
Okay.
I got 49ers second in the playoffs.
Okay. I got every team making the playoffs.
I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. I'm interested to see if every team could actually make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like if that actually happens, that'd be so awesome. I just don't know if it's actually like possible.
12 and 5, the Rams. Niners 11-6, and then I got Seattle and Arizona at 9-8. My playoff teams: Bucks top seed, Rams second, Packers 11-6, Washington 10-7, Niners 11-6, Arizona 9-8, Seattle 9-8 as my 7th seed.
But Cliff Kingsbury first to get fired. You just
Hedge boys, yeah.
Because it doesn't make the playoffs. He's getting fired.
You're getting fired, bro. What are your NFC rankings?
I mean, I don't have the win loss, but
But like with top seed and
Packers, I think are going to be the first team.
wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rams,
Bucks.
yeah, and then Washington, the division winners.
Yeah.
Cowboys as a wild card. Niners as a
you
wild
mentioned.
card, yeah, and then there's a third, so the Saints, I guess.
So you're not putting Seattle.
No.
All right, good luck.
Yeah, I mean,
You doubt Seattle.
I doubted Seattle all last
I
year.
don't know why people doubt Seattle.
I gave out 5 win totals. I went
Yeah.
4-1, but my favorite one was under Seattle.
Right.
And our boy G Gaetano reminds me about Seattle every time. He's like, "Yo, you're a fucking idiot, man."
I just don't. That's a winning recipe right there. But I got gonna go Bucks, Packers, Rams, Washington, 49ers, Seahawks, Cowboys.
I don't know why everyone thinks the Bucks are going to finish in first. Like,
That division's very favorable.
I understand that, but I also think like it's a veteran team. They all know why they're there. Get into the playoffs.
They're pretty deep positionally. Deep at receiver, deep on the D line. Secondary is improving. Tight ends, like top 5 O line, like that roster is just loaded.
Mahomes didn't have turf toe.
Nah, it's just the offensive line, bro. They had three new positions at that O line in the Super Bowl against that pass rush too.